Hello, my name is Kilalera and I will be discussing formal and informal communication. First, the definition of formal communication. Formal communication is a type of verbal communication in which the interchange of information is done through the predefined channels is known as formal communication. The communication in which the flow of information is already defined is termed as formal communication. The communication follows a hierarchical chain of command which is established by the organization itself. In general, this type of communication is used exclusively in the workplace and the employees are bound to follow it while performing their duties. These are the examples of the employees they're bound to follow: requests, commands, orders, and reports. The formal communication has four types. First one is the upward or bottom up. Upward or bottom up, the communication in which the flow of information goes from subordinate to superior authority. Number two is downward or top down. The flow of no, the communication in which the flow of information goes from superior to subordinate. Next is horizontal or lateral. The communication between two employees of different departments working at the same level. Crosswise or diagonal. The communication between the employees of two different departments working at different levels. Second is the definition of informal communication. Informal communication is a type of verbal communication in which the interchange of information does not follow any channels. The communication stretches in all directions. The communication which does not follow any predefined channel for the transmission of information is known as informal communication. This type of communication moves freely in all directions and thus it is very quick and rapid. In any organization, this type of communication is very natural as people interact with each other about their personal life, and other matter. This is the example. Sharing of feelings, casual discussion, gossips. The informal communication has four types. Single strand chain. The communication in single strand chain, the communication in which one person tell something to another, who again says something to someone, other person, and process goes on. The second one is cluster chain. The communication in which one person tells something to some of its most trusted people and then they tells them to their trustworthy friends and the communication continues. The third one is probability chain. The communication happens when a person randomly chooses some persons to pass on the information in which is of little interest but not important. The last one is gossip chain. The communication starts when a person tells something to a group of people and then they pass on the information to some more people, and in this way the information is passed on to everyone. Key difference between formal and informal communication. This is more likely the summary. Formal communication is also known by the name of official communication, and formal communication is also known by the name of grapevine. In informal communication, the information must follow a chain of command. Conversely, the information communication can move freely in any direction. In informal communication, full secrecy is maintained, but in case of informal communication, maintenance of secrecy is very tough task. Formal communication is written, whereas informal communication is oral. Formal communication is time-consuming as opposed to informal communication, which is rapid and quick. Formal communication is more reliable than informal communication. Formal communication is designed by the organization. Inf- Informal communication starts itself due to the urge of human to talk. In formal communication, the documentary evidence is always available. On the other hand, in the case of informal communication, the supporting documents are not available. And for the other activity, what are the common issues in the organization? This is the list outlines some of the most common communication problems in the workplace. Cultural differences, attitude, lack of motivation, listening skills, written communication quality, appropriate communication tools, oversharing. That's all.